Oh, hi. Yeah, as you may have noticed, I didn't get to do that morning entry I wanted to do. I was just too tired. I didn't get up until about 9:30. Thankfully, Batman was a repeat today, so I didn't miss anything. It's an episode I already have. Let's see. It's, of course, Friday, December 4th, 1992. The current time is 12:27 p.m., as in 27 minutes past noon. I'm just working on the community announcements here still. I got the Amiga 600 in front of me. You want to see? Okay, just a second. Let you have a look here. There it is. The Amiga 600. I must say, I'm so happy that I know how to use macro. Mind you, when did I figure that out? Way back in video letter 4. Next one should be fun. Number 13. Unlucky 13. Hopefully nothing will go wrong when I'm making it. My dad had some bankers in today. Important meeting. He wanted me to get the place, program room clean. Well, it's better anyway. I don't know, what do you think? It's not bad. Thing is, I was putting, you may recall there was a stack of videotapes right in that corner there, right behind me. So I got the monitor so I can see where I'm pointing. You may recall there was a big stack of videotapes there for quite a while. I have put those in the archives. They were just taking up counter space. I mean, we don't have, they're mostly 3/4 inch tapes, and we don't have a 3/4 inch machine yet. My dad has a guy looking into it though. He says you might be able to get one used for $300, so that wouldn't be too bad. Then we'd be able to play a lot of tapes, you know, that we have in the back there, behind the wall. I think I'm gonna have to wrap up this tape because I'm almost out of tape. Yeah, so how about this? I'll leave you with a demo. All right, I'll leave you with a computer demo of some sort. I'll find one to put on, and like that. So I'll see you on the second part, and until then, sayonara. And here's that demo, whatever it is that I decide to show you. And I'll give you the grand tour of the Amiga 600 on tape 2 as well. First thing, I promise.
Greetings everyone, Sean from the future here, coming at you from the night of April 3rd, 2019, the morning of April 4th. It's actually 4:06 in the morning when I'm recording this commentary. Anyway, here we have Guy Spy and the Crystals of Armageddon from ReadySoft. Now, ReadySoft is a company you may recognize the name of because, of course, they were the company that brought us the Dragon Slayer and Space Ace games, which I've discussed at great length over the course of these retro videos. So Guy Spy was kind of an interesting experiment. It was sort of their response to people complaining that the Dragon Slayer and Space Ace games didn't give you a lot of control over the character, but they had really nice animation. So essentially what the idea here was to give you really nice animation, as you can see, but give you a lot more control over the character. Now, you still do kind of have to time your moves and whatnot, because as you can see, like every move he does, he has to kind of go through a little animation sequence, like spinning around or crouching or turning or moving or what have you. But it definitely gives you a lot more control over something like Dragon Slayer, just because, you know, it's not preset animation sequences per se. You're basically just a nice, fluidly animated character doing stuff in a nicely animated environment. And it gives it a very nice cinematic look, actually. And this is kind of, you know, James Bond style thing. You're like this lone super spy trying to stop this mad dictator guy from taking over the world. So I never actually got the full game of this. I always wanted to, but I never did. But I played this demo quite a bit. And you may notice there's no sound effects in the demo. There are sound effects in the game. And also worthy of note, the music in the demo is nowhere to be found in the game either. I actually tried to find the music for the demo, but couldn't, because I wanted to give it to you in stereo, because of course I can't capture the sound in these old recordings in stereo, but alas, I couldn't find it. It's not on the soundtrack. So here we have Pinball Dreams. This is, once again, the demo version. Pinball Dreams is actually in PAL mode, but I'm playing it in NTSC. And because PAL has slightly higher resolution, well, we can't display the bottom 50 or so lines of resolution on an NTSC display, which is why the flippers are almost, you know, impossible to see. But that's okay. You're actually going to see a second look at this a few videos from now. This is just kind of a brief look. I just wanted to show Jason some of the recent demos that I got. But this was quite an impressive pinball game when it came out, because prior to this, pinball games really didn't have much in the way of, you know, advanced displays. I mean, they kind of just cram the whole table onto the screen, or you'd see it at like a weird angle or something. But this one gave you like this really smooth scrolling full table. So even though it can't show you the whole table on the screen, it could give you quite a sizable table with just this beautiful seamless scrolling, which I'm sure you'll agree works quite well. I mean, it keeps the ball in view where it needs to be and stuff like that. But I'll talk quite a bit more about this in the second playthrough, which you'll see a little later. Keep an eye out for the Video Letters to Jason 13 intro video, because in addition to that, it shows you the I do a more extensive playthrough of this. Oh, I see. What I was shaking. You could hit. You could shake the table by hitting spacebar. That's what I was doing there. Now, if the ball is still in the launcher there, it doesn't do anything. However, if you shake the table while the ball is in play too many times, it will tilt the table, which is kind of cool. Another feature that you didn't really see in other pinball games at the time. But this was quite an influential game, too. Pretty much after this, every pinball game that came out for a while was done in this style. There was a couple of sequels to this. There was Pinball Fantasies, which was available on a variety of platforms. There was another one from another company. I don't remember what the company was called, but it was called Epic Pinball, and it basically lifted this exact style part and parcel from the from Pinball Dreams and Pinball Fantasies. And I think the third one, it was Pinball Illusions. That's what it was. Pinball Illusions was the third one from the same company. But yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much all we have for this playthrough. Oh no, we've got one more ball. Let's see how we do. Well, we didn't do anything, apparently. Alright, well, catch you later.
Hope you liked those two demos. It was, of course, Guy Spy, from the makers of Dragon's Lair and Space Ace, namely ReadySoft, who I'm sure you're familiar with by now. Something interesting I found out just today, actually. I purchased the latest issue of Amiga World, and so I flip to the games section here, and I'll read something interesting to you. Now, this was for Dragon's Lair 2, Time Warp, and Space Ace 2, Borf's Revenge. Okay, listen to this. Typing "Get More Dirk" anytime during the game kicks Dragon's Lair 2 Time Warp into auto-playing mode. A nice feature that will show you the whole bleeding game. Hurry Dexter 0, followed by a press of the return key, should perform the same stunt in Space Ace 2. So I didn't have to master them after all, but that's okay, I had fun doing it. But that's a handy feature, you know. I mean, if it's been a while since you've played the games and you don't want to have to re-figure out all the moves you've done and you just want to see it all, you know, that's a handy little feature to have. I'm wondering if the other Dragon's Lairs and the first Space Ace have a similar feature. But that's neat, I like that, that's very handy. So I'll have to try that at work sometime. Anyway, Guy Spy, of course, is by the same makers of those games. The only difference being you have complete control over the animated main character. As you may have noticed, you saw it 3 times. The first time was just the computer. It was just auto-running there. And then the second time I was playing, that was the second time the gondola blew up. And then the third time I was playing as well, and it faded out when I completed the level. That's just the demo version. That's why there's only one level. I hope to get the game one of these days because I enjoyed that. What else was there? Oh yeah, and Pinball Dreams, of course, which in my opinion has got to be the single best pinball game I've played on any computer anywhere ever. Like the most realistic and most authentic video pinball game. The actual game of Pinball Dreams has 4 different pinball games, and that of course was one of them. You may have noticed the bottom of the screen was cut off. Sorry about that. Not my fault. That's the way it appears on the monitor too. That's because it's in PAL. I don't know if I've explained the difference, but really, I'm sure you're familiar with the broadcast standards. You know, you've got NTSC, which we use here, and the Japanese use as well. PAL, which is used quite widely in Europe, and CCAM, which is used, I think, in Russia or something like that. Anyway, the Amiga is capable of utilizing both NTSC and PAL, and I think some of the more recent Amigas will be CCAM compatible as well. But anyway, Pinball Dreams is a European game, so it was done in PAL. And basically on the Amiga screen, the difference is PAL Amigas have an extra 56 lines of resolution at the bottom of the screen. Instead of the resolution being 320 by 200, it's 320 by 256 over there. Whereas here we have 320 by 200, the NTSC machines, and consequently lose those bottom 56 lines in PAL games. Which is why before a game can be brought over here, it has to be converted into NTSC. Yeah, so I'm hoping the actual game version is like that. But I mean, it's you can see, and like you couldn't really see the flippers at all on the TV there, but on the monitor you can see enough of them so that you can play the game. I mean, you just have to sort of watch for where the ball's going.